the real reason for KYC and AML, if we're being honest with ourselves, is control. Governments want to own their population. They want to control every single aspect of our lives. They want to dictate every single aspect of our lives. Their ability to print money ad infinitum essentially allows them to pursue policies regardless effectively of public opinion, and that is the real reason for KYC and AML. It's not all the stated reasons. The real reason is control. They want to own us. They want to know everything that happens so that they can seize it, confiscate it, watch it, stop us from getting too wealthy, so that, you know, the 140,000 people who have more than $10 million continue to live at the expense of the rest of the world population. So this is a very nice system for 140,000 people. It's not a very nice system for the rest of humanity. And it's a system designed for control. That is the whole point of KYC and AML. So I really don't think I'm going to take lectures in morality from people who defend the existing system around KYC and control and AML.
Right. Okay. Is that the only reason for KYC? I'm not sure if it is.
Well, again,
I mean, it might be an excuse that's used in certain
in the UK,
ways.
they just passed an act called the Criminal Finances Act, right? You know what they can do in the Criminal Finances Act? They can produce unexplained wealth orders. The Home Secretary can just produce a piece of paper and say, you, don't like you, unexplained wealth order. Confiscation. Bye. That's KYC. That's what AML is for.
But Adam, a lot of the gold bugs would say exactly the same as what you're saying.
Yeah, but you know, with Bitcoin, you can have millions of dollars on a USB if you know the private key, and that's the end of it. Whereas if you want millions of dollars in gold, you're going to have to sit there with a Doberman and a rifle, essentially, you know, waiting to be attacked like John. You know.
John, what's your view?
Well, again, it goes back to what I said. Look, I side with Adam in the sense that I don't believe in authoritarianism. It's another reason why Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency concept in general is a monetary touchstone, because you start asking yourself these questions regarding what is money and should governments control it? Look, I mean, if Adam or anyone else asks me, John, do you believe government should control money? I will answer no. I think money should be generated spontaneously by the marketplace. I believe, as with other goods that we buy, sell, consume, produce, etc., we should be able to choose. We live in the age of choice. We're allowed to choose our lifestyles. We're allowed to choose who we associate with. We're allowed to do all kinds of things that back in medieval times would have got you, well, God knows what would have happened to you, right? So, you know, we live in this age of choice where we really feel we have choice in things. Why not choice in money? Now, I would never purport to force people to use gold. I would never say you are forbidden to use Bitcoin. I would never support any of that authoritarianism. Look, I'm from California, for Christ's sake. I'm not an authoritarian guy. However, it is my honest belief, given what I have been saying, and notwithstanding what Adam has been emphasizing, that when given a choice as to what is the superior long-term store of value, heavy-handed government policy or otherwise, and, you know, depending on where you are in the world, of course, there can be a lot of uncertainty regarding what governments will do next. I simply believe that a large majority of people, I don't mean small majority, I mean large majority of people, very substantial, would decide gold. And while, yes, the future may hold surprises, and someday the monetary experiment, otherwise known as Bitcoin, may be an experiment no more. But as it stands today, I believe that people the world over would overwhelmingly choose gold as their preferred long-term store of value, notwithstanding concerns about governments one way or the other.
Yeah, on that, as a long-term store of value, I mean, gold, unlike Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, we could bury it today, and 1,000 years later, it would still be of value to someone. They could still use it. Why do we know this? Well, we've got a few thousand years of history to demonstrate that. Bitcoin, or any other cryptocurrency, is only as good as the architecture that supports it, that technological architecture, computing systems as we know them today. In 1,000 years' time, where will they be?
Will the blockchain still be there in 1,000 years' time?
Well, I hope so. I mean, but I think that effectively our consciousness is sort of moving on, and in the same way that gold provoked effectively the exploration of the physical world from, I don't know, 1500 onwards for about 400, 500 years, now Bitcoin effectively is acting as a motor, as an agent for exploring the digital world. And I think, you know, that effectively this is a sort of new era of monetary innovation, and gold, whilst it has many virtues, and as I say, I have some gold and I used to be a great gold advocate, I just don't think it represents the future. I think it represents the past.
How much has your view changed over the 3 years that you've been, and just perhaps give a bit of background about what you were doing before and where you are now, so that people understand the context?
Well, I had this startup called Bullion Bitcoin, and we tried to create gold tokens that could be transferred over the Bitcoin blockchain. And unfortunately, it was an entrepreneurial venture that didn't work. And it didn't work largely because I was not a trusted issuer, and people would not trust me with their value because it's a personalized thing, it's a walled garden, and it just didn't work out. And in the process of trying to create an exchange platform between Bitcoin and gold, trying to make this marriage between the two assets, I found that, whatever the question was, the answer was Bitcoin. That basically trying to fit in with the old world, with the past, just didn't work. And so as time has passed and I see the way in which consciousness is changing, I feel that really we are going towards a world where people will wonder why they attribute value to gold. I think we are literally reaching that sort of level where people are questioning that, because belief in all money, even gold, is a form of mass hysteria. It's basically a form of everyone saying, we all believe in this. And there are reasons why gold has maintained that for the last thousands of years, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will maintain it for the next 5,000 years, I think.